mainly Tanzania and Namibia. Other German colonies are what is today Rwanda, Burundi, Togo, and Cameroon. And of all these German colonies, the most favored colony, which the Germans call it as Kronland colony, which means crown colony, was Deutsch Ost Africa, German East Africa. What is today mainly Tanzania, Rwanda, and Burundi. Why was it their most favored colony? It's because of agriculture and minerals. Agriculture and minerals. In those times, you could not be a powerful naval power in Europe if you had no secure source of sisal, because sisal fiber was so important in the making of our warships. And where would the Germans grow this? It was the German East Africa colony, mainly Tanzania. Two, the Germans also were going into industrial revolution, also going into textile industry. The Manchester and Birmingham of Germany was now Dresden and Leipzig. Where do they get their cotton or baumwolle? Again, was Deutsch Ost Africa or German East Africa. And initially, they started growing plantation farms of cotton in coastal Tanzania. And this is what resulted in the Mwalimu War of 1905 to 1907. Before now, moving into peasant cotton growing in Mwanza, Shinyanga, and Singida. So today, when you speak of the modern textile industries in Dresden, which is now in Saxony, Germany, or Leipzig, which is in Saxony, Germany, you could not do that without the cotton from what is today in Tanzania. Manchester and Birmingham is a result of cotton, which was grown in the Americas and the Caribbean by African slaves who were taken there. But here now, the peasants have to do it. And this is what led to the Mwalimu War of 1905 and 1907. And for many years, the Germans even called it a rebellion. The Germans did not want to own to their colonial past. It is as a result of the struggle in Namibia, which was another German colony, South-West Africa. South-West Africa. And it is the only German colony which, after the defeat of the Germans in the First World War, it was not divided. German East Africa was divided into two countries. What is today mainly Tanzania, formerly Tanganyika, and what is today Rwanda and Burundi. And Rwanda and Burundi were one entity under the Belgians who were under British administration. Cameroon was divided into three: British Cameroon, French Cameroon, and part of it was taken to Nigeria. Togo was divided into two. Part of Togo was taken to Gold Coast, what is today Ghana. It is only South-West Africa, what is today Namibia, the only German colony which was not divided. And the good reason, it was linked to their most strategic country, South Africa. And this is why, when the Germans were defeated in the First World War, and all these other colonies, former German colonies, were partitioned and given to others. South-West Africa, under the League of Nations, was placed under United Kingdom, and the kingdom placed it under the administration of South Africa. These are, as I said, I'm complementing to give you facts, but the theoretical, the conceptual, the philosophical, the coherent lecture is the one which has been given by my. And now, the former German colonies, led by Namibia, we need to make the Germans acknowledge their past colonial crimes against what is today Namibia, people in what is today Namibia, the Nama and the Herero, but also here in Tanzania, not only the Maji, but also in Togo, but also in Cameroon. Look at Cameroon today, it's in a mess, and this mess is part of the German colonial heritage. And I'm bringing this because our brothers and sisters in Namibia have gone further on this issue. And I have always said, even when I was the foreign minister, let us not be divided. Let us say there are more people who suffered more than others. The Nama and the Herero suffered, but all the people under Maji suffered, but our colleagues in Togo suffered. And actually many people in Tanzania don't know that actually the first president of Togo, who was assassinated in 1963 by his military, Sylvanus Olympio, was a very close friend of Tanzania. And this is why today we have a street in Dar es Salaam, Sylvanus Olympio, and we have a school known as Sylvanus Olympio English Medium School. I'm bringing this because it's an issue now we're talking about reparation. And the Germans are resisting for two reasons. One, they don't want to be morally culpable for what they did. Secondly, they don't want to be seen they are paying reparations, and they want to turn those reparations into aid or support. I'm bringing this because we have colleagues from Namibia here. Another thing which I want to share with you is the whole question of Pan-Africanism and liberation. Pan-Africanism and liberation. To complement lecture by Kamal Simakani. Pan-Africanism and liberation. You know, if there are people who have suffered most in the world, in contemporary world, they are Africans. They were enslaved. Africans have not enslaved anyone, but they have been enslaved. Transported in their thousands to South America, Latin America, to Caribbean, and to what is today US, where they suffered slavery. But even after emancipation of slaves in all these areas, they still suffer discrimination, and they become part of the indentured labor, cheap labor in industries in UK. And when they moved to UK as indentured labor in Manchester and Birmingham and later on London, they were able to recognize themselves that we have a continent where we come from, and we have where we belong. And this is the genesis of the Pan-African movement by the African diaspora who were taken as slaves to Latin America, to the Caribbean, to North America. Actually, one time I built the Tanzania-Zambia Railway. And let me say, the Tanzania-Zambia Railway, in the part of Tanzania, Colonel Sibakaria is here, it passed through bush. And this is why the World Bank refused to give us money to build the railway. Because they say this railway passes through bush, wilderness, with no economic activity in the side of Tanzania. But Tanzania was not looking at the wilderness in Tanzania. It was looking at giving Zambia an access to the Indian Ocean. I am insisting on this because these days we tend to forget these sacrifices. We tend to be rich of these sacrifices. And that is why China comes in under Mao Zedong. And let me tell you, when China assisted Tanzania and Zambia to build this railway, it was a poor country. It was the China of today. Colonel Sibakaria is here. The Chinese railway workers who came here, they were all dressed in the same type of clothes, the same color. So we are not talking of China today. We are talking China of 1965, which was still struggling to feed itself, struggling to grow these people. They were the ones who came to aid the Mwalimu Club. And the Mwalimu Club gave birth to the frontline states. So we cannot talk about frontline states without going back to the Mwalimu Club. So railway. The second thing was a pipeline, oil pipeline, Tazama pipeline, from Dar es Salaam to Ndola. The railway is from Dar es Salaam to Kapiri. The pipeline is from Dar es Salaam to Ndola. And in those days, Colonel Bakaria is here, we did not import finished products. We imported crude oil. We had a refinery in Dar es Salaam, and the Zambians had a refinery in Kapiri. We refined our own petrol, and the byproducts of those petrol, it is tar, which makes us tobaccos. Today we are importing everything. Sometimes I say, I always pity Kaunda, who lived long to see how we are destroying their legacy and heritage. So, Tazama pipeline. In order to make Zambia stable, independent. And this is why, for many years, the headquarters of the African National Congress were in Morogoro, Tanzania. But once Zambia became stable, it moved to Lusaka, Zambia. Why Lusaka, Zambia? Close to the war front for Swaziland, South-West African Liberation Army, but also for the Congo system. And therefore, Chimere. This is why I say, a party which is missing in this family, we are based with this unit. Recklessness of adoption of Western type of democracy and multipartyism, which erased a heritage of Zambia. And more painful, when even Chiluba, they had to imprison Kenneth Kaunda until Mwalimu went there and told Chiluba, I want to go and reach my friend in prison. When he went in prison, he told Chiluba, I'm not coming out of this prison until you release both of us. I am coming. And it is out of that now, the Pan-Africanist movement. Now the liberation's primary struggle should go back to Africa and be led to Africans leads to the formation of these political parties, of which I'll go very fast. I'll start with the MPLA.
Historia leo imeandikwa baada ya miaka mingi, mawazo ya baba wa taifa Mwalimu Julius Nyerere.